Okay, welcome back to the Crypto Mastermind Show, guys. Got some very interesting news with Tether. I've never been a big fan of Tether. I think it's a pile of shit as a stable coin, in my personal opinion. But it looks like now Tether is accumulating gold. Big amounts of gold. It says here, Tether bought 26 tons of gold in Q3. Reserves now rival central banks. They've been buying a shitload of gold. It says here, Tether has significantly stepped up its gold purchases in recent months. At the close of Q3, the firm held around 116 tons of gold. Gold underpins XAUT and forms a part of Tether's stablecoin reserve. Very interesting, because wasn't Tether pumping up Bitcoin? Tether, man, honestly, pardon me, it's just a big... There's so much shady business going on and so many nefarious actors with Tether, you know. I think they're dodgy as hell personally, but that's just my opinion. Tether has emerged as one of the largest buyers of gold in recent months, acquiring 20 metric tons of precious metals in the third quarter of 2025. The USDT issuer's gold reserves have increased significantly in the past year, now rivaling those of a mid-sized central bank. They're buying more than some country's central bank, man. Tether. So they acquired 26 tons of gold in Q3, more than any central bank during the same period. Might want to buy some gold, guys. Very important. Don't put all your money in crypto. You should have more money in precious metals than you do in crypto. Very important. Pardon me, just don't put all your money in crypto. That's the main thing, you know. If you get annihilated, all your cryptos tank, at least you still got precious metals, you know. Diversify a bit, very important. At the end of September, the USDT issuer held around 116 tons of gold. Wow. If it were a central bank, Tether's gold reserves would rank among the top 30 in the world, ahead of Greece, Qatar, and Australia. That's what it says. It says precious metals make up around 7% of Tether's stablecoin reserve. Subtracting USDT and XAUT reserve, Tether is still sitting on a hefty stockpile itself. Beyond precious metal, the firm has also directed capital towards the mining royalties, with a reported $100 million investment in Elemental Altus. So it's very interesting, you know, like with Tether, it seems like they're trying to get regulated, they're trying to pull the act together, you know. But I'm not finished with Tether, so don't go anywhere. There's another one. Tether to hire HSBC metals chief, targeting gold market as the price crosses $4,100. HSBC, they're doing tokenized gold conveniently. They're the Project Orion, I think it was. HSBC, massive Ripple partner, by the way. Stablecoin issuer Tether is set to recruit 2 metal trading veterans from HSBC to expand its bullion operations. Pardon me. While gold trades over $4,100. The report noted that Tether held more than $12 billion in gold at the end of September, based on reserve reports, and has been adding metals throughout this year. The company reported about $13 billion in profits last year, and is tracking higher in 2025. HSBC, man, they're one of the biggest banks in the world, you know, and they're working with Tether. HSBC runs a large precious metals franchise spanning veterans, vaulting, and global logistics. Hiring two senior figures from that platform represents an effort to build internal execution and sourcing rather than relying only on external dealers. I'm just trying to skip down to the important parts. Tether integrates the highest into daily operations. Any shift in mix across treasuries, gold, and other assets will be watched for effects on liquidity, settlement, and risk controls. Because I think they got a bit of treasuries as well. They got some gold, as we know now, and they also have some Bitcoin. See, it's funny. So this article was 2 days ago, yeah? So let's look at this article, alright? November 25th, 2025, alright? It looks like Tether's doing the right thing, right? Tether's getting their act together, USDT. Funnily, a day ago, S&P Global Ratings gave Tether a weak rating. Check this out. Hold on a minute. Look at USDT's stablecoin score. They got a weak score, a score of 5. That's the lowest score they can get. That's what Tether got. You know, and they're tokenizing gold, right? They're adding gold to their reserves. They've been stockpiling gold, and they still have a weak rating. Like 1 being very strong, 5 being weak. They got the worst possible rating. How does that make any sense? Yeah. Because Tether, it's not regulated. You see? And where does Tether come out of? USDT, where does it come out of? El Salvador? El Salvador is like some dinky ass third world country, right? You know, they're poor. Like, they got no very low GDP, you know? It's a very corrupt country, let's be honest. And that's where USDT is coming out of. Like, it just doesn't gel, you know what I mean? I've said in the past that USDT, stay away from it, you know? But it might be that Tether is pulling the act together, trying to get regulated. So there is that possibility, but at this time I still think it's a pile of trash. You know? It's a pile of trash in my opinion. You know, maybe next month or the next review period it might get a better rating. Do you think after buying up all that gold and stuff, you'd make the stable coin more stable, right? What I mean. Yeah, they got a big rating. And this was a day ago. Almost the same period of time when the previous article came out. The same time. Either that or the whales are planning something, you know, some funny business, you know. Anyway, you're gonna want to buy your crypto. If you haven't bought your crypto, do check out Caleb and Brown. They're the best exchange in the world. You get your own personal broker. You get institutional grade custody, 24/7 service with their broker. Very minimal fees. You get institutional grade custody utilizing Fireblocks. Not many exchanges offer that. It's free to sign up, doesn't cost you anything. They got an app. If you have an LLC or a company, you can set up an account with your company and LLC also, or both, up to you. So do check them out. They're great. I use them myself, so I can vouch for them. They're the best in the industry. They'll look after you. They're very honest, very good ratings. You can check them out on Trustpilot. I'll put a link in the description for you so you can check it out. But anyway, till next time, please like and subscribe. Crypto Mastermind out.